Good afternoon. I'd like to welcome you to this Plymouth COVID-19 update. This is update number 14. We're coming to you live from PACTV studios. It is April 1st, 2020. I'd like to begin by letting everybody know that I'm Steve Triffletti, your Plymouth Town moderator. We'll be here each day, Monday through Saturday at noon for this update. This forum is being brought to you live by PACTV on Comcast, channels 13 and 15, and Verizon, channels 43 and 47. You can also watch this on PACTV's streaming channel by going to pac-tv.org/live. And for questions during today's forum, please email them to us at plymouthinfo@pactv.org. These forums can be replayed at pactv.org/Plymouth. Now, today's participants include Kenneth Tavares, Chair of the Plymouth Board of Selectmen, Matthew Muratore, who is our Plymouth State Representative. We're also joined today by Heather Cozby. She is a CPA in Plymouth. Marie Oliva, she is President and CEO of the Cape Cod Canal Chamber. Also, Lisa Spencer, she is the Deputy Director for South Shore Community Action Council. And I'd like to begin today by just announcing that earlier this morning, I issued a declaration of recess and continuance of the Plymouth annual and special town meetings. They were formally continued to May 2nd, but based on yesterday's order by Governor Baker, which extended the advisory shelter in place until May 4th, we've determined that it's in the best interest of the town of Plymouth to continue the Plymouth annual and special town meetings until May 30, 2020. And with that, we're going to go to Selectman Chair Ken Tavares. Ken, welcome.
Thank you, Steve, and good afternoon to everyone. Yesterday, the Plymouth Board of Selectmen met at 1:30. Thanks to the good work of PACTV, we were able to be televised. Again, great appreciation to the PAC crew for everything they've been doing for the last couple of weeks. The board took 3 unanimous votes, and I'd like to, for the record, go back through them. The first was not to place the debt exclusion question on the spring ballot. That was the question in regards to the Central Firehouse, and the vote again was not to place it on the ballot question. Much more time we feel is needed to think about it, and this is not the time where people are so concerned with many other more important issues in their personal lives and business lives. We also supported the hiring of a visiting nurse association to supplement work being done in the health department. As of today, work has started, and we hope to have a visiting nurse association on board very, very soon. And the last vote was in regards to the Best Western. It had been publicized that they were going to be accepting homeless individuals that had tested positive through the auspices of MEMA. That is not taking place. And I want to thank the owners of the motel. Within an hour of the meeting yesterday, the contract was retracted with MEMA, and they are not going to be assisting in that way. That basically is the update for yesterday, and I turn it back to you, Steve. Thank you.
Thank you. That is Kenneth Tavares. He is Chair of the Plymouth Board of Selectmen. Each day we bring you these updates in order to provide you with up-to-the-minute information regarding the COVID-19 response in the town of Plymouth. We're trying to provide you with verified information from officials and from experts. And joining us now is a certified public accountant who will be talking to us a little bit about some of the changes that have occurred. We welcome Heather Cozby. Heather, welcome.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate being here. So there's a lot of information that has been rolling out this past week, information even last night. So in a big broad picture, I want to highlight kind of the big things that are going to impact individuals and businesses the most broadly. Just starting with everybody's question about the filing date. Yes, the filing date has moved from April 15th to July 15th. That's for taxpayers to file and pay their taxes. That includes individuals and businesses. Massachusetts has indicated they're in the process of writing those regulations as well to mimic the federal. So that's step one. It also includes your first quarter estimated taxes for this year. I don't have the answer on Massachusetts yet, but the whole idea is that Massachusetts is going to be following federal. The second question to people is these checks that are coming out to individuals. And for individuals, that's a huge item. You have to look at your tax returns that were filed for 18 or 19. And if you're single, the limit's 75,000. And if you're married filing joint, it's 150,000 with some phase outs. The money is going to be sent to you automatically. There's not anything you can do to interfere with that process. You can't really update anything really quickly. I don't know if you file a tax return today, if it's in enough time before the IRS starts processing these payments. You will receive a letter from the Treasury saying how much your payment is and how it was sent to you, whether it was sent direct deposit to what account or if it was mailed to you. That'll be coming out in a few weeks, is my understanding. For individuals, the other big issue are all the displaced workers and unemployment. And in a nutshell, the federal government has passed an amazing act to help unemployment. This helps everybody that would normally get unemployment. If you are self-employed, a subcontractor, it also supplements the state health unemployment system so that you'll be getting an additional up to $600 a week over what the state would pay. For unemployment, the issue is everything will go through the Massachusetts unemployment website. So you will go there to file your claims. The Massachusetts website is not updated for these federal regulations yet. So you will have to wait until they build the infrastructure and can process the claims. And that may take a week or so. I've heard it might be ready at the end of the week. So the other thing for individuals, and this has to do with retired individuals, if you're subject to required minimum distributions from your retirement accounts, you do not have to take them this year. This is to allow you to let your investments grow and recover before you are to take money out. So those are the main issues for individuals in again, a very broad stroke. When it comes to the business side, I have never seen or heard of anything like this. This business relief is amazing. And they say small business, but what does small business mean? Small business means businesses with 500 or fewer employees. Every single client I have would qualify as a small business. The most sweeping item that every single business owner should be going to look at now is the Payroll Protection Program. You need to go to sba.gov, and also the US Treasury has a website. And I'm going to give you some other information about that at the end. Basically, if you are continuing to employ restaurants, myself, my firm, people who are still employing, have employees and are paying payroll from February 15th this year through June 30th of this year, those amounts, you could get loans that you can get those loans forgiven. It is literally free money to small business to keep people employed and to keep small businesses moving forward and doing what we need to do in our communities. That is number one. The second thing every business needs to do is go and look at the disaster loans, the emergency disaster loans from, again, sba.gov. You can get immediate access to $10,000 of capital while they're processing the loan application. The payroll protection loan is not ready to be used yet. It is supposed to roll out on Friday. I received last night from the American Institute of CPAs a package that actually gave me the loan application. It is only 2 pages long. This is intended to be done rapidly, and everybody needs to be working on that and educating themselves. The businesses also have some payroll programs about deferring payroll taxes and getting credits for payroll taxes. It is the amount of information that has come out is astounding. So what I want to give you is my company website, cozbycpa.com, and it's cozbycpa.com. Right on our page 1, we have a resource page that links to all of this information. The U.S. Senate issued a great summary of, if you're a business, these are the things that you need to do to help yourself. So every practitioner, other CPAs like myself, our clients are emailing us and trying to get a hold of us. We physically can't get to every person. So you need to educate yourself first and then start to work through and prepare for how to apply for these loans, and then seek assistance at the highest level of trying to process this information. So, I mean, with that being said, I know that I'm issuing everything and information to my clients through our website, through social media, through electronic newsletters and things like that. There's a lot of free information out there. You can even go to the Mass Society of CPAs website. act like you're an accountant, go, I need this info. There's webinars, there's a lot of information that you need to get access to, and there is so much help. The intent of all of this legislation is to provide liquidity to the low and middle income workers as well as small businesses for approximately 8 weeks. So if you're sitting there going, I don't know what to do, I don't have anything, you need to seek out these programs. And so in a nutshell, that's what's been going on, and those are the resources available.
And that's Heather Cozby, and she is a Plymouth CPA. And at this time, we welcome Marie Oliva. She is the president and CEO for the Cape Cod Canal Chamber. Welcome, Marie.
Hi there. I want to thank you, Steve, for doing this in PACTV. It's really a great service, so I appreciate it.
And Marie, what can you tell us about the activities of the Cape Cod Canal Chamber, and what are you recommending for your members, businesses, and for the communities you serve?
Right. Well, we're open, not open to the public, but we're open for business, first of all. And what we want to do is pump out information to our members on a daily basis on the CARE Act at the federal level, SBA, the links to the proper websites. We're getting a lot of calls similar to what they were asking Heather just a little while ago about sole proprietorships and if they can apply. So everybody's learning about those things. We also have dining guides for restaurants. We have all kinds of services that businesses are emailing us about so that we can post the information on our website. We truly are here day in day trying to pump out as much information as we can. We're also collaborating with many other chambers, including the Plymouth Area Chamber, which we love dearly, and many other chambers across the Cape and southeastern Massachusetts, so that we can bring the information back to our members. The businesses that are closed right now, we're contacting all our business members to see what we can do, what information we can give them in terms of helping their cash flow, talking to lending institutions, that most people have to contact their lending institutions for some of the information that's coming out for cash flow and for loans that might turn into grants, things of that nature. So we're here. We're open for business.
That is Marie Oliva. She is the president and CEO for the Cape Cod Canal Chamber. Again, if you have questions, please send them to us at PlymouthInfo@PACTV.org. Our panel members will be staying with us to answer your questions. And at this time, we're going to move to Lisa Spencer. Lisa is the Deputy Director for the South Shore Community Action Council. Welcome, Lisa.
Thank you, Steve, and thank you for hosting this, and thank PACTV for providing the forum. We do have a COVID-19 response page on our website. I've given the website to PACTV. It's www.sscac.org. We're currently closed to the public, but we're still providing services. So we're still here Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and providing all the emergency services that we can. For example, we provide fuel assistance. We typically take around 10,000 applications a year. We provide fuel assistance in 39 towns across the South Shore from Hull to Wareham, as well as the Cape and Islands. And we provide direct payments for households that are eligible to their heating vendors for their primary heat source bills. We pay oil bills, natural gas, propane, electricity, coal, wood, whatever the heat source is. Eligibility also provides enrollment for utility discounts through Eversource, National Grid Electric and Gas, and Columbia Gas. The income guidelines are on our website, but for example, for a household of one, the maximum income to be eligible is $37,360. For a household of four, for example, it's $71,846. There are, as previously mentioned, a lot of households that are in the restaurant and tourism business that might have to file for unemployment due to the COVID-19, and they certainly can apply with us. Benefits range, again, to the heating vendor between $400 to $1,360 for the heating season. We are taking applications over the phone on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 9:15 to 3, and currently that's through April 30th. Anyone can call 508-746-6707, or our long distance toll free is 877-FUEL-AID, FUELAID. And the receptionist takes the caller's contact information, and an intake worker calls the person back, gets their information. We mail them an application along with instructions of what to provide. And we're continuing to operate in that fashion. We wanted to thank all the local legislators for supporting recent state appropriation of $15 million on top of our federal resources this year. So we do have approximately $8 million in client resources at the present. And as I mentioned, the program is continuing right now through April 30th. It may be extended based on the additional federal stimulus money. We're still awaiting that decision. Relative to our food resources program, it's another large program here at South Shore Community Action Council. We're a resource to local food pantries and school departments. Recently, in response to COVID-19, we've been working with the Plymouth and Middleborough schools on their bagged meals program at in Plymouth. I believe it's 5 locations. The food resources program processed about 6,000 pounds last Monday for the schools. We're also providing bagged foods for bags of food for our Head Start and child care families. If people are looking for ways to donate food, we have bins at the local Stop and Shop and other grocery stores. There's a list of participating grocery stores and locations for people to donate on our website. Our child care programs at the present are closed in accordance with the governor's order through May 4th. And another program that's really been hit at our agency is transportation services. We have about 40 drivers and 40 vehicles that typically transport elderly and disabled, and those services have been suspended at the moment. So that's a big change for us in the amount of service we're able to provide. Most of the clients are elderly or disabled, so it's certainly understandable that the locations that we transport to are closed. We also typically provide the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program. Those appointments are currently suspended, but we hope to be able to resume those appointments since the tax preparation deadlines have been extended to July 15th. We do have some activities for the families that receive child care services from us, as well as other child care activities. There's a Facebook reference that I sent to PACTV for Big Ryan's Tall Tales. And I know there are story times and science, technology, education, and math activities that some of the teachers are providing on our YouTube channel. And I guess the other highlight is if people are in a position to be able to donate, we do have a COVID-19 Emergency Assistance Fund up on the website, www.sscac.org, so that we can help individuals and families that have been impacted by COVID-19. We thank everybody for their patience because our responses have shifted pretty quickly, and as we have to make changes, we will post them to the website. But we are still here, and we're providing emergency services to the best of our ability every day. So, thank you.
Thank you, Lisa Spencer. She is the Deputy Director for South Shore Community Action Council. You can email us your questions to PlymouthInfo@pac-tv.org. We've received quite a few questions for today's participants, but at this time we're going to go to Matt Muratore, our Plymouth State Representative. Welcome, Matt. Matt has been joining us each day.
How are you today, Steve?
Yes, great.
Okay, so let's start with the numbers for today, and these are as of March 31st at around this time, noontime. Yesterday, the number of test cases were 46,935. The number of positive tests was 6,620, and we actually have there were 89 deaths. And it's worth to note that there were 33 deaths within less than 48 hours. As I said yesterday, we are in a crisis situation now over the next 2 to 3 weeks. Don't be surprised to see these numbers are going to escalate. So staying home is the best way to try to keep these numbers down as much as possible and start bending that curve. But we are going to be in a desperate situation over the next 2 to 3 weeks. In addition, Plymouth County is at 49 positive cases with 2 deaths in Plymouth County. Of the 6,620 that are confirmed positive in the state, 562 are in the hospital. And the town of Plymouth is at 27 cases. Now, and there's also now well over 20 testing sites. So we're seeing more and more tests done every day. As you know, the governor yesterday issued a stay-at-home advisory to be extended to May 4th, and that includes non-essential businesses. The most up-to-date list of the non-essential businesses, if you're still questioning if you are one, is on the mass.gov/COVID-19 website. So you'll be able to find if you are an essential business or not. The other thing the governor did yesterday too was to reduce the gatherings to no more than 10. So that is also in place. In addition, as the Chairman Tavares brought up about the Best Western Cold Spring Motel, hotels, motels are now closed unless you are going to be helping residents who are displaced from their home or frontline healthcare workers. So that's going to be the story for hotels and motels at this point. Nursing homes and rest homes, as we touched upon yesterday, and you've probably all heard at this point, there were a number of deaths in the Soldier Home in Holyoke, and more nursing home residents are passing from this virus as well. So there's going to be online testing, on-site testing at nursing homes and rest homes throughout the Commonwealth. The governor today will be on at 3:30. He's going to be visiting the DCU Center, which is a very large field hospital that has just been set up. There is also a desperate need for the Red Cross for blood drives. If you have a business, I saw Ernie Bach yesterday had one in his car dealership. If you have a business like that you could set up a blood drive in the area, please, please, please do so. There is a desperate need for blood for folks, something that we've never seen in this country before. So please heed the warning on that. If you can help give blood, and giving blood is a safe way to do it, please do so. But we need those bloodmobile drives in this area soon. I also wanted to follow up a little bit on what what Lisa was talking about with regards to the food that they've been providing for the students of Plymouth for the bag groceries. I talked to Gary Maestas, superintendent of schools, this morning. They were in desperate needs of about 3,000 plastic bags for the food. They have the food, but they need bags. And I'm proud to announce right now, and thanks to my colleague and State Representative Kathy Lenatra from Kingston, she was able to contact Cisco out of Plimpton, and they are going to be donating 3,000 to 4,000 plastic bags. They'll be delivered to PCIS tomorrow between 9 and 1, and for the groceries, so students can continue to pick up and their families pick up groceries on a weekly basis. Again, thanks to the South Shore Community Action Council for the food. So thank you to Kathy Lenatra for getting these bags for the folks of Plymouth. And I just wanted to follow up one more thing that Heather Cozby was saying, and an excellent presentation from Heather. It's a very difficult to understand all the changes that are happening on the federal and the state level, but she did an excellent job explaining that. Really appreciate that. And just want to follow up that the state legislature at the House side has passed some of these changes on the state level, but they are still going through the Senate now. We hope to have the Senate in session today and maybe passing this municipality bill that will deal with some of this tax information, and hope to have it on the governor's desk by Thursday or Friday of this week. So stay tuned for that. And I also wanted to announce that just came out this morning, for those artists that are out there teaching or teachers that teach artists, there is a $1,000 grant that is now being offered by the Mass Cultural Council. So if you have an artist that this is your living and your livelihood, and you lost some money on this, please feel free to go to the Mass Cultural Council and apply for the $1,000 grant that just came out this morning. And that is the update as of now, Steve.
Representative Matthew Muratore giving us the daily State of the State update. We're going to be going to our question and answer, but before we do that, just like to announce tomorrow's lineup. Joining Ken Tavares and Matthew Muratore will also be, as he just referenced, State Representative Kathy Lenatra, who also represents the town of Plymouth. Also be hearing from Rabbi Lawrence Silverman, and once again, Stephen Cole will join us. He is the Executive Director for the Plymouth Regional Economic Development Foundation. Now, at this time, we're going to go to our question and answers. I did receive from one of our prior participants a comment that the hotel motel closures include short-term rentals like Airbnb and home away. So I'll just supplement with what we just heard from Matt. But now we're going to go to the questions. And the first question would be for Heather Cozby. Heather, I know you talked about this a little bit, but do you have any further information about when self-employed workers can start filing for unemployment? The viewer says that they've been checking mass.gov for several days, and it still says that filing is unavailable for this type of self-employed worker. Heather.
Yes, so that is what's happening is the unemployment website, their systems aren't built for this type of claim. So number one, they had to wait for the federal government to issue regulations to tell them how to implement this program with the federal money. And number two, they had to actually build the system and software to process this, match the person's information from, I'm presuming, their tax records, and then be able to calculate the amount of unemployment that would be sent to these people. I saw a press conference with Governor Baker. He described it as an alternate universe. That is exactly what it is. So my understanding from talking with Matt briefly before this was that the state may have that up and running by the end of the week. So all anybody can do is continue to check the Massachusetts unemployment website every day until it opens up and you can start filing your claims.
Thank you. Next question for Marie Oliva, who is our representative from the Cape Cod Canal Chamber. Marie, the question is, what can you tell us about the rumors of bridge closings?
Right, that's all it is a rumor. It's not factual, and the Corps of Engineers consider it to be critical infrastructure. The bridges are going to remain open, and there's no reason for anyone to fear that issue. It's just something that was on the news, and I think some people are concerned about that. But of course, you can't implement the Cape Cod residents are the only ones that can go over the bridges. It wouldn't be enforceable. So I wouldn't worry about that. I would just tell you right now, that's the information we have as of today from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers that operate the bridges.
And thank you, Marie Oliva from the Cape Cod Canal Chamber. This is exactly one of the reasons why we're doing these updates. We don't want rumors to persist. We want you to get verified information from trusted sources. Thank you to the Cape Cod Canal Chamber for that information. And now we're going to go back to Heather Cozby with another question. If a business applies for payroll protection, do the employees still apply for unemployment while they're waiting for approval for that application?
They absolutely could. They're either being employed or not. And the part of the legislation waived the 1 week waiting period for unemployment. So if you have 2 or 3 weeks of unemployment, you should be able to qualify for unemployment for those specific weeks. And then the minute that you can be hired back, you would be off of unemployment. From the payroll loan perspective, a lot of how they calculate the amount of debt that gets forgiven is the amount of money you put to payroll. And when the regulation was written, they understand that people had to lay people off. So rehiring will help the amount of debt of the loan that would be forgiven by doing rehires. It is intended to get money to business to get people working.
Thank you. That's Heather Cozby. She's a CPA. We're now going to go to Kenneth Tavares, Chair of the Plymouth Board of Selectmen. Ken, a viewer question: will Plymouth real estate property taxes still be due on May 1st?
As of today, that is the case, but we're seeking some additional information. Hope to have a more definitive answer for you in a few days.
Thank you. That's Kenneth Tavares, Chair of the Plymouth Board of Selectmen. Another question for Heather Cozby. Heather, the viewer says, my mother does not file taxes. She receives Social Security only. She's 88 years old. She doesn't use a computer. Does she need to contact the IRS in order to get a check? And does she receive one if she's on Social Security only and does not file taxes?
Great question. She does not need to do anything. My understanding is that they're using the Social Security records. If there's no tax return on file, they will use the information from Social Security, and they are sending a check to every taxpayer that's within the income limits. It doesn't matter if you filed a return or not.
Thank you. If you have questions, you can email them to PlymouthInfo@pac-tv.org. And at this time, each day, one of the things that we've been doing is going back through our panel. They've all had an opportunity to hear each other speak. And we'd like to know one more time from each of the participants whether or not you have anything else that you'd like to share with our Plymouth viewing audience, and what message would you like to leave them with today. And we're going to begin with Heather Cozby. Heather, we need you to unmute yourself.
Studio
Heather?
just unmuted me. Thank you.
Go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you again for having me on this. I think this is great for our town and our community. I think I'll just leave with, there is so much information that while you're at home doing what you need to do to keep everybody safe, start reading the information yourself. It is going to be not practical to expect to get face-to-face time with the few practitioners that are in town. A lot of this is straightforward. The businesses, if you are watching this, the minute this is over, go and apply for, look up the economic disaster loan and look at the payroll protection. That application for the payroll protection loan is 2 pages. It's 4 pages in total, 2 pages of application and 2 pages of instruction. It is meant to be simple enough that every business owner, every small business owner can do this on their own. And I highly encourage you to do that. That is the best #1 option for businesses right now.
Thank you, Heather Cozby, Plymouth CPA. We're going to go to Representative Matthew Muratore, who's going to be further responding to some of the questions that we received today from viewers. Matt.
Yeah, I just want to follow up with Chairman Tavares on the municipal taxes. That is part of the municipal bill I was just talking about earlier that was passed in the House on Friday and is going to the Senate today. So we'll have more clarity on fees and taxes for the municipalities and what they can do going forward.
Thank you. And now we're going to go to Marie Oliva from the Cape Cod Canal Chamber. Marie, what would be your closing comments, and what would you like viewers to remember today?
To remember that all chambers are a resource. So what you need to do, if you're not a member of your local chamber, you can still contact them. They'll help you. We're in the business of helping all the businesses, whether you're a member of the chamber or not. Chambers are made up of business members that invest in the Chamber of Commerce. So what I want to say is, we're here for everybody. We're here for the community.
Thank you. That is Marie Oliva. She is the president and CEO of the Cape Cod Canal Chamber. And we're now going to go back to Lisa Spencer. She's the deputy director for South Shore Community Action Council. Lisa, what would you like to say to our viewers as we close?
Thank you, Steve. Well, if somebody is looking for a way to help out the community, they certainly can go to our website and look under the programs, under the Food Resources Program. There's a list of the most common things that we typically need. Non-perishables like spaghetti sauce, canned tuna fish, canned ham, canned chicken, diapers, baby wipes, peanut butter and jelly, spaghetti sauce. There's a separate list for the backpack and schools program. That would be things like granola bars, canned soup, cereal, pudding cups, peaches, things like that. We do have the locations of our donation bins listed. They're also accepting donations for us at the Plymouth school sites. The other thing is we're open for fuel assistance. We're open by phone Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So please don't hesitate to call, and an intake worker will walk you through the application process. Everything can be done by the mail. This is the first time the state has allowed that, but essentially we're here to help people. If you're newly unemployed, the odds are your household may be eligible for the program. And it's not just the direct fuel assistance for your primary heat source. We may be able to assist you with your electric bill as the electric utility bills pile up. So please don't hesitate. Refer to the website, call the 508-746-6707 number, or the toll-free 877-FUEL-AID.
Thank you.
People are here to answer Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays. Thank you.
And that's Lisa Spencer. She's the deputy director for South Shore Community Action Council. And now we're going to go back to Representative Matthew Muratore for his final thoughts. Matt?
Yeah, thank you so much, Stephen. Thank you for all the panelists today. Great information as usual. Again, just stay informed. There's a number of ways to get your information. Texting, getting a text alert is probably the best way to do it. By texting 888-777 and typing in COVID-MA. That's probably the better way to do it. Or you can call 211 or go mass.gov/COVID-19. So stay informed, stay calm. And remember, the more we come together by staying apart, the faster we'll be together with our loved ones and the things that we love the most. Thank you, Steve. Thank you to PACTV again.
And thank you, Representative Matthew Muratore. We'll be doing this every day for the foreseeable future. We'll be inviting back some of our guests who are providing us with great answers to some of your questions. And now we're going to move back for a closing statement from the town of Plymouth with Selectman Chair Ken Tavares. Ken.
Thank you, Steve. I have some random thoughts that I would like to express to the community on behalf of the Board of Selectmen. We all, I think, realize by now that we're living in history-making days. We've never seen this before, and God help us that we won't again. But we need to do the best each day, and we have a number of people that are proving that they can do that. I want to talk to the citizens of Plymouth and let you know that all of your questions are extremely important to us. We can't get to them all as fast as we would like, but we are working on it. I know I've been following a question that's been on social media from town meeting members. We will get to these questions. It isn't that we're ignoring them. It's just that there are limited resources, and one question that seems on the surface to be very simple that should be answered in 2 minutes isn't. There are various things that integrate into the question and things that have to be considered. So please, I ask you, be patient. We have a great team working on them, and we will get to them. The other words that I have are follow the governor's orders. They are right on. When he talks about safe distance, washing hands, and he says this in every meeting, it's for a reason. This is the only way we're going to be able to stop this onslaught of what's happening. I think many of us realize we're entering the dangerous time for the virus to spread. So we need to be extremely attentive to what is going on around us. And with that, I have some words that I read today from Dan Rather, a well-respected journalist, that I think it would help if you would just take a couple of minutes, maybe at the end of this broadcast, to think about it. The choices we make right now, down to the personal decision to stay isolated and do our part in not taxing a healthcare system bursting at the seams, will shape what kind of a society emerges. Well said, big order, we can do it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ken Tavares, and thank you for those words as we close out with the town of Plymouth. We'd like to thank all of the members who participated today with Ken Tavares and Representative Matthew Muratore. They included Heather Cozby, she is a Plymouth CPA. Marie Oliva, she is the president and CEO of the Cape Cod Canal Chamber of Commerce. And also we were joined by Lisa Spencer. She's the deputy director of South Shore Community Action Council. Tomorrow we will be joined by Rabbi Lawrence Silverman, also Representative Kathy Lenatra, and Stephen Cole, the executive director for the Plymouth Regional Economic Development Foundation. And at this time, again, for those of you who may not have joined us in the beginning, I did make a second declaration of recess and continuance of the annual and special town meetings for Plymouth, and they are now recessed till Saturday, May 30, 2020 at 8 a.m. at Plymouth North High School. We'd like to thank all of you for joining us. Please join us again Monday through Saturday at 12 noon on PACTV. I'm Steve Triffletti, Plymouth Town Moderator. Good day.